What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course for another Formwork Friday. This one's talking about how do we get spin on the discs. What is one of the easiest ways to get the spin on the discs? We have two very spin happy discs. We have the MVP Spin and the Axiom Paradox. Let's go ahead and start tossing and we'll talk about it as we go. Gonna go spin first. A little bit of right to left wind, a little bit of hyzer, and just pop it. Okay, I'm gonna need to pull it a little bit further to the right. Yeah. Nice and flippy, nice and spinny, and we get some fun stuff. So the really the biggest thing for spinning at the disc is the separation you get with your elbow. Because you can spin the disc and by doing this, but you open up your shoulder into over rotating and kind of hurting, rolling your shoulder into a weak position. If you keep the elbow out, it's straight through pull. So make sure you're keeping that separation as you pull through. We don't want to be doing this. That separation of the elbow from the rest of your body is what's going to help give you that extra whip, that extra snap, and the extra spin. There's a tree right there. Just keep that out there and let the arm follow through on that path, and you'll get that very natural release. If you try to manipulate where the elbow is and keep it too closed, you're not going to have very much power. You're not going to have much snap. So you can try to use your wrist, but then that could vary extremely widely. And when a lot of people see me throw, some people think that I round because my reach back, my arm is bent. So yes, theoretically, it does look like I'm rounding, but really what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and creating the separation from the elbow to the rest of my body in my reach back. So I have space to come through. Because if I were to reach back here, I'd be coming through there. I would have to really change the way I'm throwing instead of just keeping it there and then punching through. Such a fun disc to throw, but it really does require a little bit more spin, so I don't really need to power into it as much. I don't need to smash it. I just need to let the body work and let the elbow hit the right point so that my wrist and arm can come through, giving it the quick spin, not necessarily powering up on the disc. And yes, you can power up on a disc like this, but to put more power into a disc that's this understable, you're gonna have to put so much more spin in it to have control over it, because once you get it up past its threshold speed, which for the spin is 2.5. So basically if you're throwing this with anything more than about mid-range power, you have to be very precise with the angle of release and how much spin you're giving it. Same thing with this, you have a little bit more leeway, but this is being a more understable disc. It is a 5-speed, but it's still a more understable disc, so you have to be very precise with how much hyzer, how much spin you're giving this disc and controlling the nose angle as well. Because if you tried to power up on these like they're a distance driver and throw them nose down, they're not going to do what you think they're going to do, because they're not designed to be thrown that way. So practice throwing the discs the way they're designed to be thrown first, and then you can start to test some boundaries. We're going to try to test some boundaries here. We're going to give a little bit more power. On the next tee pad, I'm going to try to set you guys up so you can see how much separation I am getting, but I'm going to try to explain when I go to throw slower discs harder and I try to get the extra power onto them, I do actually mentally change. It's more of the feeling of the timing than anything else. I focus a lot more on making sure I get the wrist to about there. So almost hold on to it too long, but try to release it early. That way it has space to really snap off the fingers and give it more spin. I'm gonna try to demonstrate that here with a spin and then the paradox. So I'm focusing a lot on the brace there. So I'm stopping my shoulder so that everything else is whipping through to give it as much spin as possible. I'm not necessarily powering up on it. I'm trying to whip my arm through fast for sure, but I'm focusing a lot more on the spin and the release angle than I am on the amount of energy I'm putting into it. Okay, well, I just hit a tree. That's fine. Anyways, hopefully you guys are able to understand some of what I'm talking about. And next tee pad, let's try to demonstrate keeping my elbow out and punching my elbow through to generate the speed for the shot. Now for me to not turn these over and accidentally lose these discs, I am gonna have to throw these on a pretty steep amount of hyzer, but still watch how I'm keeping my elbow out ahead of my body as I'm actually hitting the throw, and that's helping me whip the disc through. Instead of keeping my elbow close and maybe trying to throw from here, I'm throwing from here. It's a much more powerful stance, driving the elbow through instead of just trying to hit the hand really fast. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, make sure to check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.